the next day. Hi, Yuri.
Monica!
Did you remember to bring everything from your place today?
I sure did.
And what about the birthday card?
I've got it right here.
Yuri pulls out a folded piece of paper from her purse and hands it over to me. Taking a close look at it shows that it has all 4 signatures of the club members on there, sans Yuri. That's one thing I told her to do today, to see the club members throughout the school day and get this done, and she did it without fail. Good work. Give this to her when the time comes.
You got it.
Natsuki makes her way into the room, carrying a tray of 1 dozen cupcakes. Hey, glad you could make it. Yo, Monica, where do you want all these? Here, hang on, I got this. Walking over to where Natsuki is, I take the tray of cupcakes from her, turn around, and walk over to the desk that's next to Yuri's. Once I carefully place it on the desk, Yuri breaks the silence in the room.
Ooh, can I taste this one now?
No! Aww! We originally agreed on half a dozen, but Natsuki brought up painful memories of Sayori's bottomless stomach. We all have to wait until everyone's all settled in.
Okay. Speaking of which, when are Hallie and Yuri supposed to be here?
I told Hallie to purposefully show up late to the club so that we could get everything all set up. Now, let's go ahead and get their banner hung up.
3:03 p.m. It's finally time. Escaping the chatter of all the people in my algebra class, I spent no time packing up my stuff and leaving. There's been a crazy feeling of anticipation inside of me all day, and it never seemed to go away. Needless to say, lunchtime with Yuri today was especially difficult, knowing that I couldn't talk about anything. She did bring one of my favorites today, lychee fruit. Maybe she wanted to bring in something we both like because of what today is. I mean, she's gotta know it's her birthday today, right? Stopping by my locker, I put away all the stuff that I know I won't need for the rest of the day and close it up. Monica wanted Yuri and I to show up late to the club to get everything all set up, so this is one thing I can do, I guess. Once I closed my locker door, I turned towards the stairs to see Yuri walking towards me.
Hey, Hallie.
Oh, hey there! Our smiles complement each other as I think about what I'm going to do next. Without much of a warning, I approach her, wrap my arms around her body, and rest my head on her shoulder. After a little bit, she does the same, and we share this moment of comfortable silence between us. Her hugs feel as warm as they always do, even after all this time, and I appreciate each and every single one of them. Anything you'd like to do today in the club? It doesn't really matter that answer she gives me. What answer is what it said? I know what's about to go down.
I was hoping we could read more of my book today, if that's fine.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Yeah, I don't mind. We can do that. Now that I think about it, we might be able to get around to it if everything goes well. Once we break away from each other, I take her hand in mine and we make our way to the club room. I can feel my heartbeat increasing quite a bit as we approach the club room. I didn't think I'd be feeling this nervous about everything. What if Monica doesn't have everything all set up in time? I didn't think I did that good of a job at stalling our arrival here.
Hallie, are you alright?
Huh? Oh, yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. You just seem nervous about something.
Wow, I'm not good at hiding my expressions at all, am I? Sorry if I look that way. I'm fine, I promise.
Alright, if you say so.
Once we approach the club room door, my nervousness skyrockets internally as I open the door. Once the two of us enter the club room, I immediately pick up on how different the room looks. Looks like I made it just in time. The other 3 girls direct their attention towards us. Surprise! After hearing a light gasp from Yuri, the room becomes silent as if she's taking in the atmosphere of everything. I'm glad I kept myself reserved even after the 3 of them said that. Maybe it's best if I break the silence to make the place not so awkward. This is why I was a little more silent than usual today.
I get it now.
It makes me happy to see our banner is still in one piece and in decent shape even after all these months, but I can't help but wonder what's going to happen to it at the end of the school year.
Okay, is it cupcake time yet?
Both Yuri and I giggle a little bit at that. Some things never change, I guess.
You bet it is. Natsuki, you may do the honors.
Oh, I wanted to!
Suddenly, I'm imagining Sayori turning into a vacuum, and I'm kind of enjoying every moment of life right now.
Come on, let's go to my seat now.
Being ripped out of my trance, I avert my attention to her and give her a friendly smile. Yes, let's. With matching smiles, we make our way over to Yuri's desk, bring a chair close by, and we take a seat next to each other like we usually do. After a moment of waiting, Natsuki can be seen lifting the aluminum foil off her see-through tray and starts walking around the room. She hands out a cupcake to both Sayori and Monica, then walks over to where Yuri and I are and places 2 cupcakes down on our desk. Thanks, bro. Okay, maybe that was a little out of place.
Heh, no problem.
I've become a little more used to calling her whatever I deem it appropriate. Or whatever is what this is. Oh my god. And Yuri doesn't seem to mind at all. Looking around the room shows Monica happily enjoying her cupcake. Her face says it all. Sayori, on the other hand, smashes hers onto her upper lip in such a way that the frosting spreads all over her nose. Always a kid at heart, I suppose. That's when I remember that Yuri and I still have one waiting for each of us. They almost look like the ones from the festival way back then, but the frosting is cream-colored instead of tie-dye. The cake's color nearly looks the same. Wondering what flavor it could possibly be, I carefully take a bite. Buttercream frosting. Butter pecan cake. These taste and feel divine. I have to let her know. Yo, Natsuki, these are the best ones you've ever made. She puts on a cheerful smile.
Well, good. But it's not like I had you in mind when making them, you know.
No, don't get mad. I'm pretty sure she's not being mean right now. But still, though.
Yeah, I get it.
Before I take another bite of mine, I quickly look over to Yuri to see her bright and happy face. She looks as cute as always, even on her special day. Averting my attention shows Sayori quietly taking another cupcake out of the tray and stuffing it in her mouth. It takes a while for Natsuki to notice what's going on.
Ah, Sayori!
I can't help it. They are so good.
I have to agree.
It is then that I feel a tap-tap on my left shoulder. I instinctively turn my head towards Yuri.
I'll agree as well. These are the best ones she has made so far.
Most definitely. After a moment or two, we've all had our fill of cupcakes, but only 2 remain. I have a feeling that Sayori is going to find a way to take them home somehow. After a little bit of silence, Monica clears her throat in front of all of us to get our attention.
Okay. Sayori, do you have the card?
Oh man, it's time.
Yeah, I got it.
With that, Sayori gets up from her desk, her purse in hand, and walks over until she's in front of Yuri and I. Reaching into her purse, she pulls out the piece of paper that I was given near the beginning of the school day, unfolds it, and hands it over to Yuri. As she reads it, I can't help but lean my head towards her so I can remember what the card said. Happy birthday, our lovely friend. We wish you happiness your heart can hold. Here's to another fabulous year of life. You're simply the best. Monica, Natsuki, Sayori, and Hallie. Once Yuri puts the card down, her smile grows more and more.
Thank you, everyone.
We got you something else as well.
Oh? It seems like everyone's attention is on Sayori right now.
I didn't have much to spend on a birthday gift, so this is all I could afford.
Sayori reaches into her purse once again to grab her gift. Presented in front of Yuri is a notebook filled with lined paper and a 6-pack of ultra-fine point permanent markers in different colors. Yuri takes them from her and stares at it for a second or two, places them on her desk and puts on a soft smile.
You didn't have to do this for me. Thank you, Sayori.
No problem.
Once Sayori takes a few steps away from us, the sounds of stuff being moved around can be heard over near the teacher's desk. Apostrophe. Put an apostrophe! Averting my attention towards her, there, my god, shows Monica messing around with stuff, as if she's trying to get or obtain something. After a moment, Monica regains her composure and starts walking over to where Yuri and I are. Monica carefully sets down 3 books stacked on top of each other on her desk, right by Sayori's gift. Yuri takes one off the stack to inspect it, to which I end up doing the same. The blocky characters and landscapes on the front cover. My god, I cannot read. Ah, I know. These novels are based on that one popular sandbox game that came out a good number of years ago, so it's Minecraft. Those will be nice to read through sometime. Looking over to place the book back on top of the other one, Yuri's smile from earlier shows up again.
Thank you too, Monica. Of course.
Another weird moment of silence fills the room as I come to a sudden realization. The silence is quite suffocating, but... oh man, it's actually time. I think I can feel my heartbeat increase as Monica turns her attention to me. No, don't start panicking now. It's okay. Just stick with the plan.
Hallie?
Once I'm able to calm myself down and remember how everything's gonna go, I quickly yet carefully take Yuri's right hand in mine, but not so that our fingers mesh. With nervousness building up inside, I keep my grip on her hand and stand up from my chair. It's time. Monica seems to get the hint as she walks past me behind Yuri and places both her hands over Yuri's eyes. That seemed to catch her off guard, which is what we want right now.
Monica.
I am unable to hold my smile from her as I realize what's about to happen. This dreamy feeling of everything turning out right doesn't last long, and as feeling Yuri's hand wiggle around mine kicks my motives into high gear. Quickly reaching down to my pocket, I bring out my gift for her, and in one fell swoop, there we go, on her right hand's ring finger. I'm relieved to find out I managed to get the right size. Once Monica takes her hands away from her and steps back, Yuri seems to be brought back to reality and carefully looks at her right hand. Once Yuri gasps at what was put on her finger, the other three girls seem to get the hint as well. Its amethyst shines brightly on from the rays of sunlight flowing in through the windows. Yuri then looks over to me in astonishment, as if she has to confirm what I just gave her. And now you know I was being silly when we walked home yesterday. With starscapes in her eyes, the most beautiful, unforgettable of smiles shows up on her face. Once she gets up from her seat and her composure is upright, she extends both her arms, without a care in the world, it seems, to bring me in for a hug.
Come here.
Her angelic voice draws me in as I do what she says with a loving smile on my face, tightly wrapping my arms around her body and resting my left cheek on hers. Her grip on me is stronger than usual, which makes me feel even more important and loved, all within the walls of her gentle arms. Feeling every ounce of her love that she presses into me makes me feel more at home, more awake, more alive, more worth it. The grape-scented perfume I got her for Christmas makes itself known and doesn't bother me one bit. All eyes on us are irrelevant now. That's when I whisper into her ear, quiet enough so that no one else can hear us.
Happy birthday, Yuri. I love you so much. Thank you, darling. I love you too, like no other.
Gee, aren't those two so cute?
I agree. They're lovers, but they look just like a mother and a child.
Even still, those two are gross.
I wish this moment between us could last forever, but I have to remember that 3 other people are in the room right now. May as well end it off with this. Hey, come over to my place tonight. I'll make dinner for the both of us.
I'd love to.
Yet another club meeting out of the way, a very special one at that. Once Monica dismissed all of us, Yuri took her new gifts, put them in her bag, and then the both of us got up from her desk. Instead of walking out with her, I tug on her hand to get her attention. Hey Yuri, could you please wait outside for me? There's something I need to get taken care of before we leave.
Oh, sure thing. Just try not to take too long, dear.
Nodding at her out of acknowledgement, she turns away from me and begins walking out of the clubroom. Hearing the door close to confirm she's not here, I start looking around and breathe a sigh of relief to see that Yuri is still here. Here. Thank goodness. A weird sense of deja vu shows up as I make my movement for more optimal. What? I'm sorry, let me start that over. A weird sense of deja vu shows up as I make my movement more optimal so I can get her attention before she leaves for the day. That is such a strange sentence. Once I'm up close to her, I poke on her shoulder, to which she turns around to face me.
Hallie?
I just stand in front of her, feeling a bit nervous. A little bit nervous, even. It's a bit hard to think of what I want to say to her. Sayori. Without a warning, I carefully approach her and wrap my arms around her, nowhere near as tight as I did to Yuri today. She doesn't initially respond. I just want to say thank you. After a little bit, she lightly wraps her arms around me.
What for?
If it wasn't for you bringing me into the club near the beginning of the school year, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I wouldn't have met all of you, and I can't imagine how boring life would have been without this club. So, I can't thank you enough for everything. I think I heard a faint come out of her as she grips me a little bit harder.
Aw, thank you, Hallie. Monica and I are really happy to have you in our club, you know.
And thank you for accepting me as who I am. I'm glad to call you a friend.
Me too, Hallie.
After a short while, we break away from each other, say our goodbyes, and leave the clubroom for the day. Later that day. Not much went on after my chat with Sayori, but just the usual walking Yuri back to her place and then back to mine. But this time it's different. She's been over to my place plenty of times for dinner between the two of us, but this time feels a bit more special. I feel like I've done my best for her so far today, and I want to keep it up for her on her special day. It's become much warmer in my kitchen, despite the cool weather that was brought upon us today. Water has been brought to a boil on my stovetop, and a second frying pan has a flame lit underneath. Opening the box of spaghetti and pouring its contents into the water in front of me, I walk over to my fridge, but get distracted by the piece of paper that's stuck there by a magnet. Oh yeah, the poem I wrote for Yuri for her birthday. It took me a long time to get just right. Man, I can't wait to see how she'll react to this one. I hope it'll make her proud. I should probably... That big thought, I removed the poem from the fridge, fold it a few times, and stuff it into my pocket for later. Next, I open the fridge and pull out a jar of sauce and the garlic toast. Setting them on the counter, a weird feeling of excitement strikes me out of nowhere at the thought of her coming over to my house again, and her reaction to everything I have planned. Even though we've been together for 6 months now, butterflies still manage to fly around at the thought of spending quality time with her. With a somewhat brighter smile on my face and a warm feeling that's running laps inside me, I take 2 pieces of toast and place them on the empty pan in front of me. A loud sizzle makes itself known throughout my kitchen, which is always satisfying for whatever reason. The sound of the door being knocked on interrupts me from grabbing the big wooden spoon for the spaghetti. I didn't think she'd be here this early. I still have a ways to go. Just a second! Once I'm done stirring the pasta so it doesn't stick all over the place, I turn around and make my way over to my front door, excitement remaining steady. Opening the door shows her in her usual wool sweater, looking as cute as always. I'm not sure how to react to the black garment bag she has in her left hand. It's nearly as big as she is. Hey, love. She smiles at me and walks into my house. Closing the door behind her, an unexpected silence plays out for a few seconds but doesn't last long.
Hey, love. It smells good in here.
Smells good in here. Taking a moment to inhale, the smell of the garlic toast brings me back to reality. Oh no, they might be burning! Oh, that's right. I'm not done yet.
Ellie, wait.
Before I turn around to go back to the kitchen, I raise an eyebrow at her and listen to what she has to say.
Just letting you know I'll be at the restroom real quick.
Okay, that doesn't sound too bad. Got it. I'll stay down here and look after things.
Okay, love.
With a smile still on her face, she walks away from me and heads towards my stairs with the garment bag still in hand. I can't help but watch as her and the bag go upstairs, wondering why she brought it and also what's inside. Once she's out of sight, my sense of hearing overpowers everything at the sizzling from my stovetop. Redirecting my attention to the stove to make sure my house won't explode, I take advantage of this moment to focus on getting dinner all ready for us. Haha, house exploding.